The NBA season is about 2 weeks in, and there were some takeaways that I've had so far. Let's get into it. Nikola Jokic is the best player in the NBA, and the Denver Nuggets aren't slowing down anytime soon. This team just looks to continue to be a wagon. Yes, they lost Bruce Brown. A lot of people thought maybe defensively they'd take a step back, and they just really haven't. Peyton Watson has stepped in and is really showing the Nuggets front office right that they were right in letting Bruce Brown walk and get his payday and inserting him and giving him more minutes. Jamal Murray is going to be out for some time, but Reggie Jackson all of a sudden is looking like he did when he was with the Clippers, and Contavious Caldwell-Pope continues to be one of the best role players. Aaron Gordon continues to thrive in this role of a Swiss Army knife of you need to focus on defense tonight. All right, this night you need me to crash the glass, spread the ball around. It's just wild to see kind of his career arc from where he was in Orlando to now in Denver. Michael Porter Jr. has not been awful defensively. Yes, there are times where he's still getting beat backdoor and getting beat off the dribble at times, but he seems more consistent, more locked in on the defensive side of the ball this year, and that is only scary for teams out west with this Nuggets team coming off a championship. My Anthony Edwards and more importantly my Minnesota Timberwolves take so far in the season looks good. I had the Timberwolves as a 4th seed in the West, and I had Anthony Edwards as a finalist for MVP behind Devin Booker and the Jason Tatum ultimately winning it. This team looks to be more complete. Karl Anthony Towns does not look like the cat that we've come accustomed to on the offensive side of the ball, but this is the most locked in I've seen him defensively in some time. Rudy Gobert, finally a full offseason and a full year in Minnesota, finally looks to be accustomed to this team. Mike Conley continues to be the perfect point guard for this team, just a veteran that can play off ball or on ball. Anthony Edwards is their go-to guy. They have leaned into that. Everyone on the roster and the organization seems to finally have anointed that. And Anthony Edwards just continues to attack every night. He's taking more shots than he did last year on even more efficiency. So Anthony Edwards just continues to terrorize defenses night in and night out, and being that star player this Minnesota Timberwolves franchise has lacked for some time. It's only 2 weeks, but the Orlando Magic are going to end their playoff drought. I said this before the year, and I still believe it. Paulo is starting to look like he did last year. Franz Wagner's taken another step, and Jalen Suggs has taken an even another step on defense, which is crazy to say because he was already one of the best perimeter defenders at the guard position, and he's just continued to take another step. Wendell Carter is the perfect center in the NBA. High IQ, can pass, good rim protector, and can shoot the 3 ball as well as score in the post and in the paint. I just don't understand why they continue to play Joe Ingles. I don't know if that was something they discussed when they signed him, but the quicker that they realize Joe Ingles is unplayable most nights and they focus on more of their young guys and more minutes for their other wings, this Orlando Magic team is just going to take off. While they are a young team and they will lose some games that they should win, they will also win some games that they shouldn't, and then they even itself out. Markelle Fultz and Cole Anthony and Jalen Suggs is one of the more underrated guard rotations in the NBA. And I hope with the Magic being better this year that more people will tune in to watch their games and just see how good this young nucleus is. Victor Wembanyama is as advertised. He's been as expected as a lot of NBA fans. The high expectations coming in, and he's lived up to them. He's had a couple off nights, but as a rookie that's going to happen. But when he's on, you see the potential. He puts on some more muscle, and his body and his frame can fit that muscle on. It's no telling how far the Spurs and Wembanyama can go. The Spurs are also experimenting with Jeremy Sohan at point guard. They were starting to kind of do that last year, but they've really leaned into it this year. I understand it from the perspective of a 6'9", long, lengthy point guard, if you can convert him to that point guard on ball position, a guy that does all the dirty stuff and, the trash talker at the point guard that's going to be selfless. I understand that. But when I watch the Spurs team, there's something that is always, it's as glaring. When Trey Jones is not on the floor, no one on this team can really get Wemby the ball. When Trey Jones is on the field, Wemby gets the most easiest looks that he gets of the whole entire night. Trey Jones has always been an excellent passer. That was his calling card in college, and that's been his calling card in the NBA as well. As long as the Spurs continue to develop Sohan like they want to, but also developing that chemistry between Trey Jones and Wemby, there's no telling where the Spurs team can go in the next 2 to 3 seasons. The Grizzlies are awful without Ja Morant, and this might be the best thing for them long term. If the Grizzlies actually do end up in the lottery, Ja Morant serving his suspension this season, Their roster is incredibly expensive and is only going to get more expensive. Getting a young draft asset can be perfect for them. They can either trade that pick and get more talent in, or they can use it on someone that they really like in this draft and get cheap young talent on this roster. It's still early in the season. They could turn it around. We've seen the Wizards last year got off to a fast start and then crumbled for the rest of the way. The Grizzlies are off to a 1-7 start, and with Ja Morant coming back, they could get it turned around, yes. But it just looks like this is just going to be one of those years where we look back and go, oh yeah, the Grizzlies in that Ja Morant suspension season were awful. As always, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. Let me know down in the comments what are some of your takeaways from this early NBA season.